Hey everyone, we're back. It's time for another edition of Hump Day Highlight. We are here with Phil Consolino, just a great guy and a great success story here in our area and a proud member of our chamber. He owns a company called Atlanta MRO. Phil, welcome to Hump Day Highlight. Tell us a little about Atlanta MRO. What do y'all do for an honest living over there?
Well, good morning, Colin. Thank you for this opportunity. We call that company Atlanta MRO Supply, which is basically a distributor of cleaning supplies and equipment that provides everything that a commercial building would need to maintain itself and keep it healthy. And it's actually a business that I started 6 years ago here in Fairburn. And after 53 years of being in this industry, I'm doing my own thing at this time. And it's kind of interesting because we looked at 2020 as going to be our really great breakout year. We knew it was going to be spectacular. We had no idea it was going to be this spectacular and crazy, as you know, business is. But basically, I've been doing this all of my career, helping people clean and maintain commercial buildings, and it's changed a lot in the last 50 years.
Well, and it's changed a lot in the last 4 months, 5 months.
Exactly.
Y'all have
when we started way back, people only cleaned for appearance sake. I mean, it was like cleaning up the dirt. Now it's all about cleaning for health.
Right. So your business has kind of been one of the businesses in the spotlight here, and everybody's realizing just how important your business is to their business. So no doubt we're all learning from this. Now tell me, you've been doing this all your career, but you've only been in Fairburn for 6 years. How'd you get to Fairburn?
Well, we had a family business in Michigan for 30 years called Allen Aids. When we sold that business, I started an organization called Triad Service System, which did repair and maintenance of cleaning equipment. That ended up becoming a national service organization when I sold it off. And when actually my parents both passed away, we decided to take a plunge, and a friend of mine in Atlanta begged me to come down and help him run his business. So I came down, made the adjustment. Very glad we did. We love the South. We love Atlanta. And we settled in Peachtree City, which is a special place, as you know. And ran that business for 12 and a half years. And when you talk about hardships or difficult things that come up, changing your career path at age 62 was never in my plan, but I did. And we did consulting for a couple of years, and then decided to start Atlanta MRO Supply, which we finally now called AMROs. We just use the acronym, and just started my own business, and here we go.
Well, and you've been pretty successful at it. Y'all have done a really great job, and we appreciate that. So we'll get into the 3 H's. You've mentioned the hardship, but let's talk about what's been a highlight. What's something that has made you excited over your career?
Well, you get to meet so many great people. I reflect often about the opportunities I've had in my business life to get to know so many significant people. I remember as a kid coming out of high school, I was in the DECA program, got to meet J.C. Penney in the early days. I remember being part of the Junior Achievement Program and flying on the General Motors plane out to Dallas to be with all these people. So you just get into places that maybe you wouldn't normally get into if you weren't in business. And then your customers, are so great that it doesn't matter how big they are or how small they are. They're all just wonderful people. So, being blessed to help people with their businesses all these years to me is a high all unto itself.
Well, getting to meet J.C. Penney has to be right on up there, though. That's you're the first person I ever have met who actually got to meet J.C. Penney. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. I worked right out of college. I worked as a manager for J.C. Penney. So a lot of regard for him and his company. It's too bad it's falling hard times now. But so we talked a little about a hardship. So let's expand on that a little bit. You said changing careers at 62 was a hardship, but It really wasn't, because you did a pretty good job.
Well, let's just say it wasn't the plan. I mean, I had a plan worked out, and you know, the world doesn't always evolve around the way you want it to, but generally speaking, when one door closes, another one opens. I believe in that. I'm very faithful in that aspect. So, as far as I'm concerned, it was meant to be, and so we took. At the time, it seemed like a difficult time. Who wants to be starting? And matter of fact, I looked seriously at buying a gas station. I thought that would be my next calling, and I didn't pull that lever, and ended up starting my own distribution. Actually, I did it because my wife said, "Why don't you just do what you know how to do?" And so that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, yeah. Well, what are you hopeful about in the future?
Getting out, really retiring. Actually, you know, my greatest future element is my family. I mean, I do all this for family. Very blessed with 3 children, 2 grandchildren we've adopted and raised. One reason I'm still working, I have a 16-year-old at home. And well, my wife and I are very fortunate. We got a great family situation, 7 grandchildren, now 1 great grandchild. And I mean, that's really what drives and motivates us every day to look for a bright future. I do worry. I see what's going on in the world, and I worry for them, but generations just seem to be able to deal with that and fix it. And I think the younger generation will continue to do the same.
Well, that's good to hear. Well, look, I think you're a role model for a lot of our members, and I appreciate your membership in the Fayette Chamber. I notice your Michigan state there over your shoulder. Is it green and white for a particular reason?
Actually, it's kind of gray. The colors are not coming up.
Okay. Okay.
I grew up 30 minutes south of Michigan State and 30 minutes west of Michigan, but we're a go blue family for the most part. There's a few green sprinkled in there. One of my grandsons is a big Michigan State fan, and my brother-in-law went to Michigan State. But you know, it's a mixed bag. It's like all those cities. I will tell you that when you asked me the question about being hopeful, I'm looking at the redesign of our business this year with all that's going on with COVID. In many ways, we're having the best year we ever had because of the COVID. I would have never forecasted that, but we're grateful, and hopefully we'll be able to continue to provide value to the marketplace and keep everybody healthy.
Yeah, I hope so. Well, thanks for the work you do. Thanks for joining us today. It's always great to talk to you. And folks, we'll be back next week with another edition of Hump Day Highlight. Have a great week.
See ya.